Whoa, 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 whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Charvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Charvette Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard all across the World Wide Web. What's going on, guys? What's going on, gals? Welcome to another edition of the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. We are super excited to have you joining us here. We bring you phenomenal interviews. We bring you outstanding guests. And listen, today is no different at all. So let me tell you who is on the lineup today. So we're kicking the top of the hour out. You've been seeing me tweeting. You've been seeing me on Facebook. You've been seeing me on Instagram talking about our guest today. So first up, I'm excited to have Sheldon Verneil here with me in the virtual studio. He's going to be coming to the mic. My assistant's going to grab him from the virtual studio, and we are excited to chat with him. He's a professional male model. He is signed with one of the top agencies in New York City, Red Model Management. He's done work for Billionaire Boys Club, Pharrell Williams. He's done work with Ebony Magazine. Oh, my goodness, he was in Paris Fashion Week. Yes, in Paris, France. Oh, my goodness. Oh, designer AKOO, Tye's clothing line, and much, much more. You're going to get to meet him, hear all about him, hear how I discovered and found out about him, and hear his perspective on being a professional male model. And then in our second segment, we're excited. We always like to feature artists here on the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show, and we're honored to have KJ Scriven joining us in the second segment. He is a Grammy Award Winning songwriter. He's an artist. He's a worship leader. You have seen his work on, oh, my goodness, Open Up the Heavens with Shekinah Glory. Oh, my goodness, Love Came Down, James Fortune's Christmas Project, and you know his work and his voice from What Can I Do with Tye Tribbett, Greater Than album. And so he's here to chat with us today. He has a project out, Hands and Feet, that we are going to get to hear more about. Hashtag Hands and Feet, and you definitely want to hear all about his passion behind that. So listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to jump on Facebook, jump on Twitter, let them know what you're listening to, let them know what's going on here on the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. Tell them to tune in, check us out. And again, welcome to all of our visitors and listeners that are coming in from Facebook, coming in from Twitter, Instagram, Charvette.com, and all of our broadcast stations all around the World Wide Web. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on into our very first segment again. Sheldon Verneil is hanging out with me. I'm bringing him up to the mic. He's a husband. He's a father. And he's often somewhere in front of the camera. So, Sheldon, welcome to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm blessed.
Wonderful. So I have to tell listeners how I first found out about you. I was watching this new, I'm going to call it reality show / web series / docu-series called Industry Guys that people can see on DreamNationTV.com. So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I was really good friends with the CEO of Dream Nation TV, which his name is Cameron Washington. Cam had came to me and, asked me to be a part. And I was really excited about it. Cameron, he's a real known man of integrity. And he does a lot of great things, So when he came to me and asked me, I wanted to sign up immediately. So here we are. He came to me with it's a reality series about 6 guys who are basically they're chasing their dreams. We're all in 6 different industries, but we all face the same. I want to call them adversities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like we all chasing the same thing, but when we come across some hardships, some struggles, and we just basically showing the world what you have to do in order to get out of those situations or get around them. And, just showing the insight and the background of the industries that we're all a part of.
Wow. And so what was it like, taping and having like a camera crew kind of follow you around?
It was pretty intense at some moments. If you, I don't know if anybody tuned into the show or you said you tuned in.
Yes, I saw the whole series, the whole season.
Right. It was some moments it was pretty intense. It was just, some moments we had were laughter, we had some crying moments. A few guys got married, myself included. It was some drama, not too much. We didn't really want to promote the drama. It wasn't about bad and negativity. It was about positivity. But it was some moments where things got a little drastic, but it was pretty good. The camera following you around, following you, and I'm like one of those people. I like to be like an open book to my fans if I have any. People who just admire my work and things like that. I want them to see another side of me. I want them to see that my life is pretty much an open book. I want them to learn from me or from my mistakes if I make any, or when I make some, and just to learn, and gravitate and just inspire, So.
Yeah, awesome. So that certainly is how I got connected with you, and I started following you on Twitter and on Instagram. So listeners, this is what you can do. You can go back and see the full series. All you have to do is go to DreamNationTV.com, DreamNationTV.com, and check out Industry Guides and see the whole season on demand.
The whole season
go check that out. Go check it out. All right,
Yep.
so let's talk about your life, your career as a professional male model. What inspired you to even go this direction?
Well, to be honest, my passion is acting. So that's how it all came about. I wanted to get into acting. I didn't really know how to go about it, but then I figured out, I'll just start taking acting classes. So that's what triggered everything. Modeling came about when I was sitting down talking to someone, and they brought it up. They said, models, they transfer into acting, they change over into acting, and some have success with it. So, anything that would lead me to my passion, so I was all for it. But like I said, I kind of got talked into modeling. I was trying to stay away from it, trying to avoid it, but it just kind of happened. But yeah, I got into it, and I learned a lot from it. And I'm really enjoying it right now. I like the traveling, of course, and I like the traveling, of course. And it's a real big industry. It's a lot of competition, and you can learn so much. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Wow. And so, what are all the different facets? So you have like print. And then you have, runway. So do you do all of those different things?
Yep, I do print, high fashion as well. I do runway. You may even do commercials as a male model as well. Sometimes they may have you doing commercials for fragrances or, fragrances, colognes, different things, underwear. So you may do some commercialing too sometimes. So It's different things. It's different levels.
It's different levels. So what was your first big modeling gig? And you're like, oh, okay, this is really going to go somewhere. I'm gonna really be able to utilize this to help me get to my next level. What was the first big job you had?
I think the first one was my Ebony Magazine spread back in 2013. A lot of people kind of, was reaching out to me about it. A lot of people seeing it. So when they seen it, they was like, hey, that's Sheldon, blah, blah, blah. Like a lot of people in my hometown. I'm from Philadelphia, so a lot of people in my home. And that's a national magazine. It's a real bad magazine. So a lot of people seen it. When they seen it, it was just like another experience for me because, people wanted to, to do the whole. And I'm a humble guy, so, the whole taking pictures or wanting me to sign their books if they bought them. It was like a different kind of area for me. I didn't really know how to respond to it. but it was a different kind of experience, and I really enjoyed it. And I just promised myself, if I ever became like a real big celebrity, I didn't want to be one of those celebrities who just didn't want to respond to the fans and didn't want to sign autographs, didn't want to take pictures and things like that. So yeah, so I just whatever I had to do to put a smile on my fans' faces, whether it's just taking a picture or signing an autograph, whatever it was.
You wanted to stay connected and still be able to be reachable. Awesome. Listeners, if you just tuned in, hey, you're checking out the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, and we're chatting up here with Sheldon Verneil. He is a professional male model, signed with Red Model Management, woohoo, out of New York. Big shout-out there, so shout-out to that. All right, so Sheldon, so tell us, how do you prepare if you have to do runway? What are you prepared, how do you prepare to get in the mindset to do runway?
Oh man, the runway shows are very, very intense. You can have butterflies a lot. You can be nervous sometimes, and it's just something that you prepare your mind for. I often think about my children before I walk on the runway. That because they're what motivate me. The most.
Yeah.
So when I think about them, I think about all of the scaredness and all of the nervousness. It just leaves me. It just leaves my body. So once it does, it's just like I just walk out there, because I don't really like people just staring at me if it's not for a certain reason. So, me walking out there and then everybody just looking at you and then like all the cameras and the paparazzi and things like that. But like I said, it can be real nervous, but I just walk out there. I'm very motivated by my lifestyle, and the things that I've been through. So, I just walk out there, I just keep my head high and I just think confident of myself and, I just do it.
Just do it. And do they teach you or tell you how to look? It's like male models, y'all have this like serious look, like this one look. Do they show you or tell you how, this is how we need you to look on the runway?
In some cases they do. They do that. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Some people just like you to walk natural, your natural walk, your natural face. Some designers want you to look fierce. I guess it just depends on what the designer wants at the end of the day.
Okay, and so tell us now, since we're getting into the designers, definitely tell us about, some of the designers that you've worked with and kind of what the experience was. So like for Billionaire Boys Club, tell us about that experience.
Oh man, that was an experience. The staff of Billionaire Boys Club, they work hand in hand with Pharrell. So I often hear this. A lot of people tell me that I look like him. So it was kind of strange and ironic that I went on this casting for the clothing line, and when I went to the casting, they were saying it. They said, "Oh, you look like him a little bit." So when I actually got booked and got confirmed for the actual gig to do the photo shoot, it was they had to send the pictures of the models that they picked, that they chose, and send it to him, and he had to agree to it. They said when he seen my picture, he picked me himself, like, oh yeah, we need him.
Oh,
so
wow.
when I got to the actual shoot, they was telling me what happened and how he picked me. So I was like, well, that's an amazing thing. Like God works in amazing ways. So that was a real good experience. It was a real good photo shoot. I like the line myself. I do like the brand, and they make real good clothes. So cool. I enjoyed the photo shoot. It was real nice.
Wow, so that's just favor. That's just God's favor, and I know that you are a believer. And so, would you like to talk a little bit about how you've been able? Because this industry is can be crazy, I imagine. So, how do you keep your faith and keep it interwoven in your life?
Right. I me being a believer, I just got saved last year. I've always believed, and I was raised in a church. But me being saved, now I have a different mindset to the industries that I'm in. Because last year, a few years ago, if you'd have caught me I was single, you know, and and I was chasing it, you know, the whole chase the dream thing. And I was going after. I was real dedicated to it, you know, really drowned myself in it. So whatever I had, you know, however, I don't care how hard I had to work, you know, I was willing to work for it. But now I got saved, and I took a step back from it for a while, and I just I stepped back into it, and now I look at it differently. View it differently. I have a different strategy now because now I'm married and I have children to take care of now. So I just kind of step back from it, you know, and I just allow God to intercede in my life and just take over, you know, and just let Him direct me and direct my path and just keep Him first in all of my doings.
Wow, what a testament! That's really a testimony. You know, a guy, you're a young guy. I don't know how old you are, but you look fairly young, you look, you know, younger. But to be transparent and, you know, to say I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, because, you know, sometimes that's cool and that's hip, and sometimes in certain circles that's not cool and that's not hip. But you still stand for what you believe, and you still have your faith. So. Shout out to you on, you know, definitely with that and being an example, you know, for other men and that want to be in the profession. So, you know, tell us if there are men that are listening saying, you know, this is a direction that I want to go in, or one of the stepping stones that I want to take, what guidance or what tips would you give an aspiring male model?
Well, you know, first and foremost, I would tell you to allow God to work on you and live inside of your heart, and keep Him first in all of your doings. Because this industry can be, it can swallow you up, man, and just take advantage of you. And you look up and you'll be doing all kind of things that you didn't even sign up doing. But as a model, I mean, there's so many different routes you can take, but one of the ways that I've chosen to take, you know, I just pretty much build a portfolio, and you know, just be cautious of people who they may come across you. They may see your hunger for, you know, if you really want to be a model, they may take advantage of that. So you just keep your focus on what it is that you want to do, whatever type of modeling it is. Keep your focus and keep your mind made up, and just go for it, you know, and just make sure you got to keep your focus. You got to be determined. You have to really want it, because this is an industry, like I said, is very competitive, and anything that you can accomplish will be you will see your hard work. You know, you'll see your hard work come to life in all of your accomplishments, all of the things that you do. So, you know, just keep your focus and just you know, stay on that right path.
Stay on the right path. And I like what you said, that there will be people who will see your hunger and just kind of watch out, because sometimes people like to potentially take advantage or charge more, or, you know, or charge for things that, you know, shouldn't charge for. So, like, for instance, definitely your portfolio, which would include their pictures, right? They need to get those professionally done, correct?
Yeah. I would say just try to shoot with, like, maybe, I would say about 3 or 4 different photographers in your area, wherever you're from. And, you know, you'll have a variety of different looks. And, you know, I would say just start going to different fashion events, you know, showing your face, showing your pictures, networking, and just getting yourself out there. And, you know, eventually things will start to form and come together.
Oh, that's good advice. So, like, utilize your local area, because there are people having fashion shows all the time, you know, a lot, enough in your local area. So don't just kind of sit back and say, well, I'm just waiting for, you know, Calvin Klein to call me. Well, no, you need to do some stuff locally.
You got to get to Calvin Klein.
You got to get there. So that's
you got to get to him.
The stepping stones. Like, can you just walk up and, you know, and I said Calvin Klein or whoever, Tommy Hilfiger or who, you know, whoever, can you just walk up in there and say, you know, I want to be one of your models and put me on? Like, can people do that?
Not these days. No, you have to. It's a certain there are stepping stones. You know, you branch out, you find an agency will represent you well, and you know they can present you to different clients. You know, whether it be Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein, you know, the big names. So that's pretty much how it goes. I mean, back in the day, I think you could have did that. You know, went to a designer, or a designer may approach you. You know, if they like your look good enough, they'll just, hey, you ever think about modeling? Yeah, come model with me. You know, so they used to do that. They may still do it. I'm not sure. It hasn't happened to me, but
but
it may or may
possible.
not.
May or may not. So you need to have some preparations. Sounds like you definitely need some representation of someone that is in the industry. So bottom line, listeners, don't let anyone kind of pull your coattail. Now, you know what I wanted to ask your opinion on. I see a lot, and I see this more in the younger arena, I guess, where there will be groups that want to charge, like parents, you know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, and they're going to get their child placed, in a model, something to do with modeling. Are some of those valid, or should people be very cautious with those things?
I would say be cautious, because one of the things that I've learned, I've been modeling now for about 6 years. Anytime that you have to pay up front for any type of agency, most of the time it's not good. And I was swindled into it a few times during my career, but everything's a learning experience, and if I can help to prevent those things from happening from others, I'm definitely for it, and I hope that this advice is valuable to you, but any of the listeners. But it's anytime you have to pretty kick out money beforehand, most of the time it's not a good thing. Now, I'm not going to say all situations are bad, but you just have to know what you're getting out of the situation. Know what you're getting out of the agreement, because they may present it to you like you're going to get a lot, but you won't. So you just got to pretty much go off of your feeling. But I wouldn't do it again.
It's like, yeah, there you go. All right, so there's it.
Right.
So I have seen that a lot. Okay, so what is next? What's up the road? What's around the corner for Sheldon Verneil?
Well, right now I am filming a episodic web series. It's called Will Death Do Us Part. I play the lead role of Devin, and basically Devin is he's a Christian man, and he's a believer. He's trying to get his girlfriend to I'm trying to figure out a way to give you some without giving you everything.
Without giving
It's kind of hard, these things, when it comes to actors. You want to tell people so much, but then you can't. But yeah, basically he's just trying to get his girlfriend to be in a place in God, or the same place where he's at, or where he wants to be at, before they just jump into marriage, basically. So that's his fight, and so that's my character, and I enjoy this role a lot. I bring a lot of naturalism to it, because I was where he was at during my, it wasn't exactly how, but I'm a Christian myself, and I'm a firm believer, and me and my wife, we're both saved, so I don't have to go through that anymore. But I was there. I was in the same place, same position that he was. So I enjoy it. I'm enjoying. We're almost done filming season 1 already, so that'll be airing soon. I think sometime this spring. Also, I'm working on I'll be working on another movie, another film. I think it's next month. It's called Peyton's Court, and I play the lead role of, I think it's Eric, in that one. And so there's some things rolling, and I'm just hoping everybody just tune in and just be a part of it, and I hope that I can inspire others as well. And because at the end of the day, nothing is about one human being. It's never about ourselves. It's all about how can we help someone else. And as a Christian, is how can we serve others, So that's my thing. I just want to be able to be a great servant in the Lord's eyes and serve His kingdom and just help out as much as I can. So.
Well said. I think that's an awesome mission, a life mission and life purpose. And so it sounds like you are definitely on the right track, on the right road. So how can people watch some of those, especially the one where you're playing the lead character? Where do they go to watch that?
The web series, I believe it's a YouTube channel.
Okay.
I believe so, yeah. I'll have to get that information. I'm not sure. I don't think the director wants to put it out there yet. But she will soon, though. But you can follow me. Yeah, people can follow me on Instagram at the Sheldon Verneil. Twitter is at Sheldon Verneil, and Facebook is Sheldon Verneil. And I post updates and things like that. Also, for the web series, you can also go on Facebook and like the page. It's called AKOO Production Company. And it's always updates on there, everything behind the scenes, footage, everything is on there. So we also have an Instagram page that just happened too. Instagram is AKOO.
All right, there you have it, listeners. Great connection points. And I have tweeted and Instagram and Facebook. So those are great connection points. And I know you following me on Twitter, twitter.com/Charvette. And I know you connect with me on Facebook, facebook.com/Charvette. Just hit the follow because I'm almost at my friends' amount. I've been deleting, Sheldon. Trying to delete some people to get new people on, but at some point I'm gonna just have to give up the ghost on that. So just hit follow. You'll see all of our public posts and Instagram, Charvette M on Instagram. So my last question for you: the goal of my show is to motivate, excite, and influence. What continues to motivate you?
Let me see. It's so much.
I know it's a big question.
Yeah, it definitely is. What motivates me most? Oh man, it would have to be. I think it will be my family. Like my wife and my children. I'm just, I'm motivated by them because it's so much that I just want to do for them. I just want to show them, to how to, what kind of, like I have a lot of daughters. I have I have 4 daughters and 1 son. So, I just want to show my son how a man is supposed to operate. Show my daughters how a man is supposed to treat them. And, just be a great husband to my wife. And just be, all that God wants me to be. Okay, I can put it in that sense. I'm motivated by whatever God has for me, the things that He wants for me. Whatever it is, I'm motivated by Him. Just me pursuing Him just changes my life. It makes me happy. So I'm just, that's mostly what I'm motivated by.
All right. I think that's well said. Wonderful listeners, I think you need to put your hands together. For our guest, Sheldon Verneil. Again, it's been great hanging out with you, and we thank you so much for stopping by the show. We got a shout-out on Facebook. Annette Long says, I'm listening. Hello. Thank you for listening. All right. Thanks, Sheldon, for stopping by.
All right.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
All righty. All right, listeners, we're going to take a very quick commercial break, and then we're going to be back with our Artist Spotlight. You don't want to move. We'll be right back.
It's the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. Charvette will be back after this.
Spiritual Food for Thought. 31 inspirational quotes to jumpstart your day by LaTanya Boyd consists of inspirational messages that offer daily words of empowerment, promote spiritual growth and development in the Lord Jesus Christ for your day-to-day living. Spiritual Food for Thought, 31 inspirational quotes to jumpstart your day. Available now on Kindle, ebook, and paperback. Log on to www.latboyd.com.
IndustryBuzzWith3Zs.com. Join in today on the movement to bring integrity back to media. With one click of a button, you can disseminate your information right from Industry Buzz to all your favorite social sites like Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, and to your email contact. Maximize your vision today. Plus, get the latest news, entertainment, and media. Need fashion or makeup tips? Looking for a job? Connect with us today. Want to connect with other business visionaries? Connect with us today. This site is for everyone, from teens to music lovers, from businessmen and women, industry professionals and performers. As a member of Industry Buzz with 3Z, you'll gain help promoting your vision. Industry Buzz with 3Zs will expose, expand, and keep your fan base up to date with all your happenings. Members also receive free or discounted perks from various sponsored companies. So join the social network, expand, and stabilize your business. Connect with like-minded individuals. Need an artist to minister at your upcoming event? Look on Industry Buzz. Have a voice and submit your article to our e-magazine. Industry Buzz with 3Zs is the place to globalize your vision. Establish it today. Be heard. It's all on IndustryBuzzWith3Zs.com.
Does your church or ministry have a website? Are you a local artist or author that has an established web presence? If you answered no to any of these questions, you're letting countless opportunities pass you by. Hi, I'm Charvette Mitchell. Mitchell Productions was created with your needs in mind. We will provide you with stylish and economical online marketing solutions. From email marketing to your own website, Mitchell Productions caters to ministries, nonprofits, small businesses, and special events. Check out our portfolio at mitchell-productions.com. In today's world, a website is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And Mitchell Productions can create your website in a stylish manner at a very economical price. Don't let business, customers, or new congregation members pass you by. Visit Mitchell Productions today at www.mitchell-productions.com. Let us showcase your organization to the world.
She's here to motivate, excite, and influence you. She's Charvette Mitchell. It's the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show with in-depth interviews from today's leading authors, gospel artists, stars that you want to know about. And now, Charvette Mitchell.
All right, welcome back again to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard all across the world wide web. Big shout out to those that are hanging out with us, listening in from Charvette.com, from Twitter, from Facebook, from Instagram, in the chat room, on the phone lines. We say hey, and of course all of our broadcast stations. We're moving right on in to our second segment. This is our artist spotlight. I'm super excited, really honored to have this guest. He's hanging out in the virtual green room, so I know he's enjoying some virtual snacks. And my virtual assistant is running to get him, to bring him up to the mic. KJ Scriven, oh my goodness, Grammy Award Winning songwriter. He wrote and was featured on What Can I Do, Tye Tribbett's latest album. He's an artist. He's a worship leader, but he has a project out. Really, I want you to hear about it. He's partnered with Samaritan's Feet, and it's a nonprofit organization. We want to talk to you about that, and we're just going to hear all kind of good stuff and everything that's going on in his world, and I'm going up and bringing him up to the mic now. KJ, welcome to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show.
Oh, hey, Charvette, how you doing? Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You are welcome. I'm excited that we had a chance to grab you because I know you have a baby on the way, right?
Yes, that's right. I have a baby. Me and my wife are about 5 weeks out, so getting really close. So it's exciting.
Wow. So are you running around preparing the nursery? What are you kind of doing?
Yes. We painted it a couple of weeks ago, and my wife has kind of been busy creating in there, so she got all kind of cool colors and all kind of stuff going on. And so it's really cool. She started washing her clothes and stuff and everything, and we're just like, oh my God, we're washing our child's clothes. This is crazy. So it's really it's really becoming a reality to us now. We're it was always real, but it's like even more real. Like we're just about to be a human being that's about to come in, crashing into our world in a beautiful way. So we're excited about that.
Wow. And so what is it like, okay, I'm going to be somebody's father, somebody's daddy. I'm going to be accountable for real. What's that like?
Yeah. Oh, man, it's exciting, and it's definitely scary because if she's anything like me, when I was a kid, I had a ton of questions. And so And I'm like, I'm probably going to get a little dose of my own medicine. So I'm sitting there like, how am I going to answer these questions? Am I going to lie to her the way my parents did to me? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But no, so, but I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited. I know she's going to be beautiful, and I can't wait to love her the way God loved me. So I'm excited about that.
Wonderful. All right. So I wanted to just share a little bit of that, and certainly, if listeners are following you on Instagram and just even in any of your social media, they will certainly pick up that is going on in your world. So let's go back. I'd love to hear how just music ministry started for you. Yeah.
Well, for me, honestly, I kind of. The story kind of goes like my mom was literally leading worship with me in the womb when her water broke and stuff. And so I come from a line of musicians and pastors and stuff like that. So both sides of my family, they're singers on both sides. So I just kind of grew up around music. But I actually got more into sports kind of growing up. And it wasn't until I was in college and I stopped playing sports and I started getting involved in other things. And, I've always written songs, and then when I was about maybe 22, I started 22, 23. I kind of started getting into music more seriously. I had a friend of mine who gave me an acoustic guitar, and I was like, let me mess with this thing, and I started messing around with it, started learning some chords, and I just remember it pretty vividly. Actually, what kind of kicked it off was I was in college. I ran into one of the staff members who was over student activities, and I remember I was walking around. I just had my guitar and I was just taking it to my room, and so she saw me. She's like, "Hey, I didn't know you played guitar." I was like, "Oh, I'm just learning. I'm not that good." She said, "Well, you know what? We have the McDonald's Poetry Slam tour coming through, and if you sign up, you have you should sign up and be a part of it." So I said, "Oh no, I'm not good enough yet. I can't do that." And so she says, "All right, you'll get a $2,500 scholarship if you do it." And I was like, "Oh, sign me up then. Sign me up."
Yeah, this I ain't gonna struggle with this. Sign me up.
Yeah, exactly. And so I ended up getting in the competition. That was the first time I ever sang on my guitar, sang while playing my guitar. And I won the competition. And from there I was like, wait, there might be something to this. And then I got invited to do another event at my college based off of that. And I was like, wow. And so it's a whole lot to the story. It can get really long, but that's pretty much how that's kind of what initiated. And then I had a lady at my church who came to me and just said she kept having a reoccurring dream that she saw me leading worship, and she saw me singing and kind of having a very acoustic, intimate vibe to my music and people receiving the gospel because I presented it in a different way. And so that was really cool, and I was like, wow. And so God just opened some doors from there, and 5 years later, here we are. So
here we are, and I mean, here we're not just like here we are, like Grammy Award winning. Here we are. So that's amazing how God. I call them breadcrumbs. That's what He leaves breadcrumbs along the way. Those dreams, breadcrumbs. Just different things along the way to lead us. And so, would you say like the songwriting piece? You're the artist. You sing. You songwrite. Which one is heavier? Which one is easier to do?
Oh man, that's tough. See, I like both. I like both of them. I would say they're equal, honestly. I wasn't always thinking about being an artist per se, but I was writing songs when I was like, 7 or 8. They were very elementary songs, but I've always written. Mainly because I saw my dad writing songs, so I thought it was cool. My dad was like an indie local artist back in the day, and so I would like see him do that. And so I've always done that, and I've always sang, and my first instrument was drums, and then I started playing bass, and that's how I ended up playing guitar. And so, but I would say, but I love people, and I love interacting with people, and I'm definitely an extrovert. So I kind of get to use that gift, sharing with people, as an artist. So I love being both. I love them all. I just love anything creative. I'm visually artistic of everything. I just love art and creativity and expression, because I believe that God is the ultimate creator, and I think that we're the closest. We're closest to him. We're the most like him when we love people and when we create. You know, so I love love and I love creativity. You know, so
absolutely.
That's it. That's all I
am in agreement with you on that. Okay, good. So certainly you've had the opportunity to work with some really great groups and have your work featured. What was like your first big break, you would say?
I would say the first one actually was with James Fortune, believe it or not. And I wrote a song for Christmas for a friend of mine, for an artist named Tye Tribbett. And I wrote it, and he was like, "Man, I want a Christmas song that doesn't sound Christmas, you know, that you can sing all year." And so I wrote a song called "Love Came Down," and then Todd ended up was singing background for James. He let James hear the song, and then Todd ended up leading the song on James' Christmas album called Grace Gift, and that was like my first placement, and so that was really, really cool. That was really cool from a songwriting standpoint. And God just really favored me as an artist. God really, really, really favored me. I remember I did my first little album release concert at my home church where I grew up, and and I remember literally like 2 weeks later, I remember like 2 weeks later, I was opening up for Canton Jones, and then like a month later I was opening up for Molly Music, and that was like 5 years ago. And so, it's just like I kind of started off, you know, God just like started off this putting me in front of people, and just opening doors, you know. And so that was kind of how things, you know, kicked off. So, you know, God has just always given me favor. I can't say that I'm that smart or that talented or whatever. They're much better artists and songwriters, but just God has just kind of placed me where He wanted me to be, you know. So.
And can't nobody put you on center stage like He can. I mean,
that's right.
You can fight and maneuver and scheme and smoosh up to people and all of that stuff. But unless God lays His hand on it and breathes on it, you're still going up a hill. Okay. All right. So let's move on because I certainly want to hear about Samaritan's Feet and Hands and Feet and show them, but I am remiss if I don't talk about what can I do. We got to talk about that for a second. So that song has been so impactful. I mean, praise and worship leaders all across the country are singing it. Talk just a little bit about that for us.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I co-wrote that song. God has just done some incredible. And it's just, again, just showing God's grace and His providence and sovereignty, you know. And like you said, Him breathing on something and making it what it is. But I co-wrote that song with a friend of mine out of Jacksonville, Florida. His name is Givenchy, and actually he's a rap artist, believe it or not. And we kind of collaborated on that. And, he's just really, really, really creative and really good. And so we collaborated. We were really on a concert, and he had a song, and then I kind of took the song and kind of put a worship spin on it and kind of added some stuff and put my twist on it. And we were just playing around, just joking. And so I honestly didn't really think that song was going to do a whole lot. And I remember my manager was like, KJ, you have to do this song. And I remember maybe a month later, I was doing a concert in South Carolina. I remember because I had a set time and I got through my songs a lot faster than I thought it would. So I was like, oh my goodness, I still got like 6 or 7 minutes left, and I don't have any song to sing. So I was like, oh, that's right. Let me just tag that song that I sang back in Jacksonville, Florida, a few months ago, and I just tagged the song and sang a little bit of it to, you know, finish my set and, you know, kind of do what I told them, you know, contractually told the people I would do, and then the song just took off, and I was like, oh my goodness, and then the group that came up following me, they were like, dude, like, what is that song? And then they told me to come back on stage, and then we sang the song again, and they just sang that song for like 20, 30 minutes. And I was just like,
what?
Whoa, okay. I said, wow, we must have something here, seriously. And so fast forward, I ended up putting that on a project that I have called The Acoustic Experiment. And I just put a little snippet of the song up there. And then I remember being on a concert with Kiki Sheard and Tye Tribbett in Sanford, North Carolina. Most of y'all don't even know where that is, which shows God's providence. But anyway, we're in a concert for a big youth conference, a huge youth conference in Sanford, North Carolina. And I remember I went first. Tye and his crew ended up coming back to the green room, and he said, man, I've been hearing about you through the grapevine. I was like, oh, man, that's awesome, man. Great to meet you, man. You like my hero. And so anyway, I went first. Kiki went second. Tye went last. I went first, and then I ended the song with What Can I Do? I ended my set with What Can I Do? And I remember walking back, because Tye told me, he said, hey, I'm going to go up to, because we were in like a gym arena kind of thing. He says, I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to watch you because I've never seen you live. So I can't wait to hear you sing. So Tye was in there the whole time watching me sing. And so when I went back to the green room, we were actually having a lot of difficulties with the sound. So I was kind of talking to my manager like, man, I couldn't hear and da-da-da. And I was kind of like just kind of going through. And then Tye came running around the corner like in full Tye mode, like full energy, running around the road like, oh, my God, that song is amazing. I'm still in that song. He's like, forget everything you're talking about right now. That song is incredible. Like, oh, my God. So then, and so Sanford is maybe 40 minutes from my hometown. So a lot of people from my hometown were there. And then Tye, and this is really maybe my first or second time meeting Tye in person. And he calls me up on the stage to begin his set. He's like, dude, we got to sing that song. So he brought me up on the stage, and we sang the song, and we sang that song for like 20 minutes. And so it was just like, whoa. You know, yes, and it was just like, whoa. And we just knew then that we're like, okay, we got something here. And so, not to make a long story less long, basically all of us, me, Kiki, and Tye, all stayed over. That was a Saturday. We all stayed over Sunday for the Sunday morning service. And so I was supposed to lead worship. Kiki was supposed to sing a couple songs. Then Tye was supposed to sing one song and then preach. So me and Kiki both did our set, and then Tye came to me again and said, hey, let's sing that song again before I preach. And I said, sure. So we got up there. I sang the song. I sang the song with Tye's band and his singers. And Tye never preached. We sang the song for an hour. And it just was, and then we just had an altar call, and then people just came and started giving their lives to Jesus, and it was just magical. And so Tye was just like, so you're singing this, right, on my album. And
and so I want this song on the album, and you're singing it.
And it just happened so fast, and we became really, really close friends really fast. And that's pretty much kind of how things kicked off. And I, again, that was like, oh no, that I probably put the least amount of effort in any of the songs that I've written. Probably that was the song I put the least amount of effort in. And so God was like, exactly. That's exactly what I want. Because I don't want you to think it was you. It was me.
Right.
So, So that's pretty much how it. Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you for sharing that backdrop. And listeners, if you just tuned in, I'm telling you, you are getting. That's why I love interviewing, because I love to hear the behind the scenes, the background. Yes. I call it behind the music, so you know how things came about. And so, I mean, that is such an example of God's hand on a song.
Sure.
And it's like
He
just did it. Woo!
That's right.
So while people are listening, tell them how they can connect with you on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Yes, all of my social media, it's all my last name is confusing enough. So it's not anything like KJ Jukebox, whatever. It's just KJ Scriven. It's just KJ Scriven, Scriven like driven, so SCRIV like Victor EN. KJ Scriven, at KJ Scriven. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's Facebook /KJ Scriven. It's very simple. Everything is just KJ Scriven. And my website is kjscriven.com. So, and you can find all my social media links on my website, as well as the where you can find all my music. It's all just KJ Scriven. So.
All right. Very simple. Very simple.
Yes.
And thanks again for all those that are tuning in and listening out. All right. So let's talk about Hands and Feet and what you've been inspired, I'm going to say, and been pulled in to do to try to help. So talk about that. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So Hands and Feet is a EP that I did. To be honest with you, I got to a point where I was really, I was going around and doing a lot of concerts. And, so everybody would say, like, man, KJ, you're really busy. You're on the road. You're doing a lot of work, and it's great. And so But what I would see was it was kind of frustrating for me because I would go around and I would look at all the issues that are going on in the world, and then we would go to these concerts, and we would have these amazing worship experiences, and it'd be incredible music and incredible preaching and incredible all this great stuff. And I would always sit there. I've always been a thinker, and I was always sitting in the concerts, and I would say, okay, so once we finish singing and once everybody gets goosebumps and once people finish laying hands on people and everybody, falls out, when you get up and when you calm down from the song and when the music stops, now what? Now how are we as a church, how are we going to be salt and light in this world? That was my question. And I began to, and I don't know if the listeners noticed, but I also kind of stopped running from my call to teach and preach. And so so I teach and preach now. And so as I was just doing some reading and doing some stuff, I came across the book of Amos. And I didn't even know it was the book of Amos. I just thought that was a cookie brand or something. So there's a book of Amos, and he was one of the minor prophets. And but Amos is like speaking to the children of God is speaking to the children of Israel through Amos, and in chapter 25, I believe it is, and he literally says, "The noise of your songs. I don't want to hear your offerings. I don't want your offerings. I don't want your services. I don't want your songs. Your music just sounds like trash to me. I don't want to hear it anymore." But he says, "But let justice roll like a river and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream." And so I was like, wow. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks that God is not interested in our songs or our services or even our tithes or our offerings. He's not interested in any of that stuff if we don't care about justice. And I was just like, whoa. And I just literally almost saw it like, and even though God is not a physical being, but I almost saw it like us singing these songs to God and him literally like a kid, like putting his fingers in his ears and saying, "I don't want to hear it because you don't care about justice and you don't care about the needs of the people because your heart doesn't break for what my heart breaks for. So I don't care about your song." And so for me, I wanted to just kind of make some songs and make some music that was worship, but worship from a different perspective, and saying that, hey, where are the Samaritans? Where are the good Samaritans? You know what I mean? Where are the people who it breaks your heart? Like for me, I live in the Charlotte, North Carolina region, and so Charlotte is known as like the Bible Belt. Like the Billy Graham Association, Evangelical Association is headquartered right here in Charlotte. So as soon as you fly into Charlotte, if you ever flew into Charlotte, the first thing you see is like Billy Graham stuff all over the wall. So this is the Bible Belt. This is the belt before the Bible Belt. But people don't know this is like we're like a top 3 city in the United States for human sex trafficking. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh wow, like there's churches on every corner, but we're in the top 3 in the country for human sex trafficking. So I just begin to ask these questions, like, and of course people ask these questions all the time, like, and I talk about this in the song that I have called "Show Them." But people ask, like, God, people are hungry, people are dying, people need water, and God, where are you in this? What are you doing? Don't you hear us crying out? And then in the song, I even explain what God said to me. He responds and he says, well, duh, that's the reason why I made you. Right. That's why I made you in my image. Like, you're looking for me to solve it, and I'm looking at you to solve it. And so I've partnered with an organization. I'm here in an incredible organization. They're based out of Charlotte, but they're all over the world, literally, called Samaritan's Feet. And this is just one organization. There's tons of other organizations. And it's not just about Samaritan's Feet. It's about a lifestyle of worship for us and a lifestyle of compassion for other people and the needs of this world. But they're a great organization, and they provide shoes for kids all over the world. I'm not sure if you're familiar. There's a shoe brand out there called Tom. It was a very popular shoe brand, and whenever you buy a pair of Toms, then Tom's buys another pair of shoes for kids, And so Samaritan's Feet is the company that Tom gives their shoes to. And so Samaritan's Feet is a pretty big company. They provide literally shoes for millions of kids around the world. And so even when the Ebola virus was going on, if a kid steps on a piece of glass and cuts his foot and then steps and he don't have shoes, like he literally can, contract Ebola and so many other diseases, from that. And then even in the school system, you think, okay, it's a pair of shoes. But, in a lot of school systems in other countries, in Africa and in India and certain places like that, in Indonesia, like you can't go to school unless you have a pair of shoes. So this even affects their education. So, and so a lot of kids, and for a lot of kids, that's their only mode of transportation. So some of these kids walk, 10, 15 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles just to go to school or just to go fetch some clean water for their family or whatever. That's their only mode of transportation. And so this great organization has really done a great job to help, alleviate those issues. And so I just want to, a portion of all the proceeds from the music, if you buy it, is on iTunes. It's called Hands and Feet. It's on Amazon. It's on all those digital outlets. A portion of the proceeds will go towards that organization. And so that was pretty much like the heart behind it. I said, I just wanted to say, hey, God, we want to align our heart up with your heart. We want to have compassion for the things you have compassion for, and we want our hearts to break for the things that break your heart. And that's why I created these songs. I didn't want it to be like, God, we magnify you in this place. Like, I didn't want it to be those type. I wanted to tell stories and tell a message, because I wanted people to understand that worship ain't just about us and about what God is going to do for us, but we are blessed to bless others. We are supposed to be that light and that salt, in the world. So, yes. I know that's long, but yes.
No, that's good. I like I said, I want to hear your heart on that. And so, listeners, you can support and you can contribute by purchasing the music. So I've done #HandsAndFeet throughout the posts that I've done to promote the show so that it would get ingrained in you. But you could just go, just like he said, and go and pick it up, and that's how you can support. And I know with the concert, and I said this to someone the other day, the concerts have like their own culture. It's like a whole different culture. It's like people that are in, they can be in Sunday morning worship and praisers and all that, and in concerts, they're like spectators. It's like a different culture. So I can imagine if you do a lot of concerts, you are kind of you've seen that spirit, and so we want to make sure we focus on the right things. All right, so we're going to let listeners here show them. We're going to let listeners here show them. But my last question for you: the goal of my show is to motivate, excite, and influence, and we want to know what motivates you.
Oh man, that's a really, really good question. For me, I'll to be honest with you, one thing that motivates me is love and truth. And one of the big things that God has really dealt with me with and inspired me with is my identity in Him. So one of the things that I love to do is the same thing. I love to motivate other people. I love to share love, and I love for people to get the truth. And I love to see people access their redemptive potential by knowing who they are in Christ and living a life that follows Him. And so whether that be with my wife or with a stranger or with people in my local congregation or people that I see at concerts or people that are mentors or mentees or whatever, I love for people to figure out who they are in Christ and for us to bring His kingdom, like He says, like for His kingdom to come and His will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. And so that's my number one motivation, is sharing truth and love with people and then finding out who they are in Christ, so that we can bring light to this world. And so that God's kingdom can come to earth and His will be done on earth. And so, of course, that encompasses a lot, but that's what motivates me. That makes me so excited to do that. So, yes.
Awesome. Well said. Well said. Listeners, put your hands together. You heard it live. You heard it here on the Charlotte Mitchell Radio Show. KJ Scriven. Definitely follow, connect. Buy Bye.
Yes, Lord.
You have any upcoming events that you want to shout out that you'll be at?
Actually, I will be. I know you guys are kind of based out of Virginia, but you're all over the world because of the internet. But I'm actually going to be in the DMV area. I'm going to be kind of in the D.C., Maryland area. Actually, this Sunday, at a church called Scripture Cathedral. I'm doing a concert for their youth and young adults at 4:00 in Maryland. And so I'm really, really excited about that. So I'll be there this Sunday. I'm excited about that. So, yes.
Wonderful. And one of our rebroadcast stations is in Alexandria, Virginia. So listeners that are listening from rebroadcast station in Alexandria, there you go. But Richmond, we right up the road, so that's just a hop, skip, and jump as well. Awesome. Well, we're going to let listeners here show them, and I thank you so much for your time. It's been great just chatting with you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, you are welcome. All right, listeners, here we go.
Judgment Day and I'm standing before you and you're so proud of me. And I can't quite understand why, Lord, but you say I fed you when you were hungry. But how could a God be hungry? Yeah. Or the all-sufficient one have needs. Yeah, but you said when you extend your hand to that stranger, you're really extending your hand towards me. So I'll show them that you live. I'm gonna show them that you live through me. Through me, yeah. So I'll show them that you live. I'll show them that you live through me.
information about him. Awesome music ministry. Listen, that's going to be a wrap for today. Thank you so much for checking us out here on the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Make sure you stop by Sharvette.com. That's the easiest place to listen to all of our past shows, any shows you missed. If you missed a portion of the show, just jump on over to Sharvette.com. Also there, you'll find information out about our advertising options. And also, if you are interested in being a guest on the show, you can find all that out over at Sharvette.com. Stop by there. And listen, until next week, you know we're going to bring you more phenomenal shows, and we're going to bring you more outstanding guests. And we're just honored that you take the time out to listen to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Holla back. We'll talk to you later.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you have been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Connect with her at Sharvette.com. And until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. The Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Signing off.